Packers. The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Cousins on first down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Check it out. Two. Black.
Now Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. First down. Here's Cousins. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44.
Box it.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It'll be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Watch twins. Motion. Hey, check motion, man. Put your hand.
Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And able to find Alan Lazard. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They were caught in no man's land that time, but the decision to go for it, that was the right one. It's a first down. That one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Here we go. Turn the ending. 54. Right, 54. You must be getting tired of seeing me. Check three, check three, check three. Check 30 mil.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively, because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Now it's Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. We're scoreless after 1. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Shotgun now for Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers! Alan Lazard there to make the grab as his guys are on the board first here tonight. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd and 7, Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Cousins on target to Diggs. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, 28 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll roll him out right. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Box it. Check, crunch. Right now, you got 58.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. They spotted at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Rodgers going to throw. There he goes, left side. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is now 14-10. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
No. 319.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Anthony Barr, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. Well, they only had a yard to go. They try to pass the football. Defense blitz. Defense got there.
Yeah, I think on this one, this is probably good scouting, understanding a few tendencies, and figuring out that, hey, they may take a shot, and they dialed up the pressure and got to him.
They're going to line up to go for this on 4th down. Rodgers stays on the field. They do go for it. It's Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers.
Every play is supposed to get a player's best effort. But on 4th down, that really increases the stakes, doesn't it? What about that catch?
Heck of an effort, picking up the first.
And now that team has to be motivated going forward. They just saw a great effort there. They want to make sure it pays off.
Rodgers now to throw. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A huge play there on the screen pass. 45 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball up.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front.
And Brad, I think we have to look back at the big call to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, that set up everything, and the end result, the short touchdown run. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think every coach would have gone for it back there.
You and I both know every coach would not have gone for it back there. So that's showing a little bit of faith, actually showing a lot of faith in his team, and it was rewarded.
This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. On first down, Cook. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. Deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that brings up 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. Apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah, that one backfired. In hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And once you start taking risks like that, you're going to have to keep taking them throughout the game, especially when they don't work.
Yeah, at this stage of the second half, interesting. Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Vikings 12-yard line.
No. 258. In your face.
They'll go again to Jones. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th.
He's got him in, complete. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Cousins. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Dean Lowry in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Cousins to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. To throw, it's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. He's at the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 48 yards.
Green 18. Lamp.
They'll run on 1st down. Williams. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Let's get it.
Rodgers throwing here. And he finds his tight end, Graham. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw